Hi friends, Season 7 Episode 5 was more into the story. What takes 2 episodes to explain, they have compiled in one. This episode will give us the picture of how the season might end. Let's start breaking it down. If you notice, in the opening credits, Eastwatch is shown in the map of Westeros, which was not shown till now. So we can presume that it has a vital role to play. Bronn saves Jaime from the Dragonfire. We noticed that in the last episode. He pulls him to the other side of the Blackwater Rush. Bronn yet again proves that he's more than a sellsword. I don't think a sellsword would be that selfless to save someone else with the dragon shooting fires at him. Dany explains to the Lannister and Tarly soldiers that she would rule their country in a better way and bridge the gap between rich and poor. I guess communism is gaining roots in Westeros. She gives them an option either to bend their knee or die. After Drogon roars at them, many bend their knee. Randall and Dickon Tarley refuse to bend the knee. When Tyrion points out that Randall's loyalty is quite flexible as he had shifted sides before. Randall's only argument is that Daenerys doesn't know anything about Westeros and is a stranger fighting with Dothraki savages. Dickon refuses to bend the knee. Randall tries to persuade Dickon, but Dickon is quite adamant and Dany burns them both alive. Here we get to notice that Drogon cremates them within minutes. Normally, cremation takes around 1 to 3 hours, with the cremator in a temperature of 900 to 1000 degrees Celsius. Drogon takes less than a minute. If we calculate this, Drogon's flames are around 8000 to 9000 degrees Celsius, and the older the dragon gets, the hotter it flames. Jaime meets Cersei in her chambers. From his report, we could know that none of the soldiers returned back to King's Landing. Cersei wants to hire the Golden Company. Jaime tells her that even though they hire the Golden Company, it's a very hard chance to defeat the Dothraki army. He also tells her that the Scorpion Shooter had no effect on Dany's dragon. But if you see the history, Rhaenys Targaryen, sister wife of Aegon the Conqueror, died along with her dragon Meraxes when a shot from a scorpion took the dragon in the eye. He tells that Olenna poisoned Joffrey and not Tyrion. Cersei had lost a battle so badly, but still she doesn't want to surrender to Daenerys. Daenerys comes back to Dragonstone on Drogon. Jon stands by the cliff. When Drogon comes near Jon, Jon takes his gloves and pats on Drogon. If you notice this scene, you might have seen Drogon sniffing at Jon when they come close to each other. Dragons have the ability to know the person by the sense of their blood. Drogon might have identified Jon's parentage. Dany is surprised by this scene. She and Jon have a conversation about the stance they have to take for defeating their enemies, even though they know that the path isn't what they want. Jorah comes back to Dragonstone and meets Dany. He is perfectly alright now and ready to serve Daenerys. Bran walks with the ravens. He sees the Night King's army marching towards the Eastwatch. He tells the Maester to send the ravens to all the parts of the kingdom so that they know about it. The Maesters discuss about the letter sent by Bran. They are quite skeptical about the three-eyed raven and the Night King's army. I guess we need to have a clock in Game of Thrones so that we could know how many days had passed since the last scene. Sam interrupts them and tells them that they have to take the issue seriously. He tells them that while he was serving in the Night's Watch, he saw the White Walkers. The Archmaester tells that he would send a raven to Winterfell for further information. In this particular scene, we could see Varys and Tyrion talking about Daenerys. Varys recollects his period of service as Master of Whispers to the Mad King. Varys was actually born in Essos. The Mad King invited him to Westeros to serve as the Master of Whispers during the aftermath of the defiance of Duskendale. Varys had a letter which he received from Winterfell. The letter is sealed for the king in the north, but Varys had read it. Jon reads the letter sent by Bran. We don't see the smile on his face when he comes to know that Arya and Bran are alive. Daenerys is puzzled about it and he says that Bran had seen the Night King's army marching towards Eastwatch. Dany says that she couldn't help them as Cersei would march in if she takes her troops away from Dragonstone. Tyrion says that if they catch one white and show it to Cersei, she could be convinced. Tyrion suggests that he would talk to Jaime about an armistice. Sir Davos agrees to smuggle Tyrion into King's Landing. Jon and Ser Jorah both volunteer to go beyond the wall. Dany had no choice but to let them go. In Winterfell, the Northern Lords are not happy with Jon's absence. They praise Sansa and show their loyalty to her. Arya is surprised by the reaction of Sansa towards these lords. Arya feels that she should have at least tell them to keep their vows, like how Bran did in season 2.
Generally falls to the lord of that holdfast.
Generally, yes. But I've sent all the young men off to fight Robb Stark's war.
King Robb. It is not his war. He didn't choose it.
Maybe not, my lord. But he called in his banners and took the men.
Joffrey killed my father. Your liege lord. Do you remember your vows?
Sir Davos and Tyrion reach to King's Landing. From their conversation, we come to know that at times of war, things change and you had to hold hands with your enemies. In this case, Sir Davos had to help a man who killed his son. Bronn takes Jaime down to the Red Keep cellars, telling Jaime that they are gonna train there. Secretly, Bronn arranged a meeting between Tyrion and Jaime. Tyrion tries to reason with Jaime about the death of their father. He tells that Tywin always hated him, and he sentenced him to death, knowing that Tyrion is innocent. Jaime snaps it and comes to the point. Tyrion says that Dany wants to suspend the war for a while until she is done with the army of the dead. In Flea Bottom, Sir Davos finds Gendry in the streets of Steel, where he is forging weapons for the Lannisters. This looks like the scene where Bruce Wayne comes to recruit Barry Allen. When Barry knows that Bruce is Batman, he says, "Stop it right there, I'm in." You could see Gendry using the hammer, just like how his father uses his own war hammer. And you can see the Baratheon stack symbol over it. The gold clocks check, and Sir Davos says that he is a trader and he is trading fermented crabs. He pays them 15 gold coins as bribe, and he even gives them some of the fermented crabs. While they were leaving, they see Tyrion. They could easily identify Tyrion with the mark on his face, and Gendry had no other choice but to kill both of them. Jaime goes to Cersei's chambers to tell her about his meeting with Tyrion and the arrangement of an armistice. Cersei informs him that she knows he is meeting with Tyrion and she had let it happen. Jaime also comes to know that Cersei is pregnant now. Cersei wants to think like her father, and she wants to have peace with Daenerys now and later attack her at the right time. In Dragonstone, Sir Davos advises Gendry that he should keep his profile low and mention to Jon that he is just a normal blacksmith. But the moment he sees Jon, he reveals that he is Robert's bastard and wants to come along with Jon in a search mission beyond the wall. Sir Jorah loads a box of dragon glass. Tyrion says farewell to Jorah. Dany comes to say bye to both Jorah and Jon. She doesn't want Jon to leave her side, but he had left her with no choice. Gilly is learning how to read, and she is reading the scrolls and records written by the Archmaester. She finds out an important information. The Archmaester had conducted a secret marriage between Rhaega and Lyanna. She mispronounces the name of Rhaega. Sam doesn't notice that. He is frustrated now that he is wasting time while the secret to defeat the Night King lies somewhere in the restricted section. He decides to leave the old town and go to Winterfell. While leaving, he steals some of the books so that it would be used. Arya spies on Littlefinger. She finds out a letter written by Sansa to Robb in season 2. Though it was written by Sansa, all the words were from Cersei. Littlefinger wants to create tension between the two sisters. I think he has an inner motive towards it. Maybe we could find that in the future episodes. Jon arrives at Eastwatch. He has a discussion with Tormund. From the way Tormund knows about the queens, it's pretty clear that the free folk don't have that much knowledge about what's happening in the state affairs. Jon meets the Brotherhood without banners. Gendry says not to trust them, but Jon has a completely different goal now, and he thinks they might be useful for his mission. All of them set their journey beyond the wall. Thank you for watching this video. Hope we could meet in the next video. Thank you for watching this video.